Hey, good morning, everyone. Michael Fanning, and this is Warm Up 187. And real quick, some of you have asked, you said the chimes sound so great sometimes when you're doing your warm ups. And I just want to say this the chimes remind me of my mom. And I want to say thank you to Pat and Eileen Shea from Sacramento, California. They're with Lion Real Estate. And when my mom passed, they sent me these, and they've got a lot of really good sayings on the chimes, and it reminds me of my mom. So thank you. So yeah, so I love hearing them too. Anyways, so today in my mentorship program with Robin Sharma, we were talking about fears. You guys know that we have 12 core fears, and I'm not going to cover all 12 in this warm up. I'll just cover six, and then maybe tomorrow I'll cover the other six. But a lot of stuff happening in our world right now today, with a lot of the angst and a lot of the anger that's going on. Guess what? That's all based in. It's all based in fear. And what's amazing is that fear in most of our minds, we all have fear. It's one thing that all of us feel, and there's a couple types of fears. There's real fear, right? When something's happening right now that you're fearful of, kind of that fight or flight mentality. But then there's mental construct fear, and what that is that's something that we build a story in our mind about that we're afraid of that never comes to fruition. Yet it controls our world and it controls who we are. And I want you to think about this. So when you have fear, right, when you're fearful, your inner world, right, it creates your outer world. So whatever your outer world is going, whatever's going on in your outer world is just a mirror image of your inner world. And when we're fearful, it holds us back. What we resist will persist. I'm going to say that again. What we resist will persist. So I thought it would be helpful if I went through these fears, but here's one thing I want you to think about. I want you to be aware in the moment. And do you know that whenever you get angry, that is a fear? Before we are ever angry and upset about something, there was a fear that we got afraid of, which caused us to be angry. You cannot go to anger. Fear is the precursor to anger. And so I want you to think about in your life when you're doing something, right? So for example, maybe there's something that gets asked of you and you get all upset about it, but the reality of it is you were fearful of whatever they were asking you to do. And so instead of stepping into it, embracing it and transcending it, you decided to get angry and resist it. And when you resist it, it will persist. So let's go through what these core fears are, and let's just talk about them. So the first one that we all have, every one of us have, is a fear of failure. We are all afraid to fail. And here's what I will tell you. The definition of success is failing over and over again. So if you want to transcend to successfulness, to become successful, you have to be able to be okay with failure. Failure is the precursor to success, right? The only way you're going to get better, if you want to learn to walk, you got to fall down. Right? You got to fall down. That's just the way life works. The second core fear is success. We have a fear of being successful. Maybe as a young age we were told, don't stand out, don't bring attention to yourself. We want to play small. The world doesn't want you to play small. The world wants you to shine. But if you feel that, if you're feeling angst and anxiety when you're getting close to success, maybe that's one of those core fears that you have. The third core fear is rejection. We put so much credit into what people think of us. I remember when I was young and I was in the dating world, and I would have this fear of asking a girl out on a date, and my dad would always say, "What's the worst that can happen to you, son?" She can say no, and then you move on, right? But it's that fear of rejection. Think about how much we stifle ourselves because we don't want to be rejected. We don't want to hear the word no. We don't want to be judged. We will allow what people think of us to be more important than pursuing our true destiny. So rejection is number three. Number four, not being good enough, right? Not being good enough. You see this happen with people who are perfectionists. They are in a state of getting ready because they're never willing to fire, or to take the shot because they have a fear that it won't be good enough. So instead of pursuing that which they want, they stay small because what if they do something and it's not good enough? I just can't handle that. That would be too scary. Number five, and this is a big one that I see a lot, that creates what we call a scarcity mindset. It's not having enough. The world of abundance, right? The world of giving. You see this happen with a lot of people who have that scarcity mindset of not having enough, is they're trying to do the cash grab. They don't want to give anything away. They're always in that mindset of, I have to get what's mine because there's not enough to go around. And that's a really difficult place to be. That's a very, very difficult place to be, because when you are in that scarcity mindset, you're creating more scarcity for yourself. And so not having enough is core fear number 5. And then the last one I'm going to talk about today is core fear number 6, which is looking different, right? Standing out. You know, it's amazing how much in our world today we want to fit in. We want to fit in. We want to march to the same drum. And the reality of it is, really successful people, people who really pursue their destiny and do what they want to do, they don't fit in, right? They're marching to a different drum. You always hear that. We say, oh, he or she marches to their own drum. That's awesome. We don't all have to fit in. We don't all have to be the same. We don't have to be lemmings, right? When you look at true leaders stand up. They say, you know what? We're going to do it differently. We're not going to do it the same way. We're going to rethink this. We're going to think out of the box. We're going to be different. So here's what I want to ask you. Whenever you're feeling angry or upset, I want you to ask yourself, which one of these fears right now is kicking in? In fact, be aware of it so much that you write it down and you take note. And then find out what that fear is, and I want you to start dealing with it. I want you to ask yourself, why all the time do I have this fear of failure? Why do I get so upset when I get rejected and someone tells me no? That's just normal. That's the way it works. You know, why is it that I don't want to give? Why do I always, why am I always studying just how much money I have in my bank account and never wanting to give to anybody, and always making sure that everything that I get a discount on, right? Why do I do that? And that's that fear. And we all have it. And there's 12 core fears. I covered 6 today. Tomorrow I'll cover the other 6. So hopefully that helps. Again, this comes from Robin Sharma. If you want to go look it up, he's got a great video on, says by Robin Sharma, How to Cure Fear. And hopefully that helps. You guys, thanks so much for listening. Have an awesome day, and be awesome and help somebody. Talk to you later.